Welcome to APush for 5, your shortcut to mastering the AP U.S. history exam. Let's jump into period 4, 1800 to 1848, where America transformed through democracy, reform, and growth. Question 1. Stimulus. Excerpt from William Ellery Channing's sermon, The Moral Argument Against War, 1839. Let us carry into politics that reverence for conscience which belongs to religion. Question. Channing's words reflect the intersection between which two antebellum movements? A. Transcendentalist idealism and pacifist moral reform rooted in evangelical Protestantism. B. Democratic expansionism and manifest destiny nationalism. C. Economic individualism and laissez-faire constitutionalism. D. Federalist revivalism and classical republicanism. The correct answer is A. Transcendentalist idealism and pacifist moral reform rooted in evangelical Protestantism. Channing merged Unitarian rationalism with evangelical conscience, urging moral reform over politics. Question 2. Stimulus. Treasury Department Circular on Specie Payments, 1836. The Specie Circular required Western land purchases to be paid in gold or silver. Question. The policy most directly reflected which of Jackson's economic priorities? A. Distrust of paper currency and belief that hard money preserved Republican virtue. B. Effort to expand the national bank's power over frontier speculation. C. Desire to promote foreign investment in American infrastructure. D. Federal encouragement of joint stock companies in new territories. The correct answer is A. Distrust of paper currency and belief that hard money preserved Republican virtue. Jackson's Specie Circular curbed paper speculation and reflected his agrarian distrust of credit. Question 3. Stimulus. Excerpt from the Report on the Condition of the Poor in New York City, 1843. The cellar dweller has exchanged the bondage of the South for the bondage of want. Question. The author's comparison illustrates which irony within antebellum reform discourse? A. Northern wage labor was likened to slavery, complicating moral claims against the South. B. Free labor ideology rejected any comparison between poverty and enslavement. C. Southern reformers used such reports to justify manumission. D. Abolitionists adopted these reports to defend factory conditions. The correct answer is A. Northern wage labor was likened to slavery, complicating moral claims against the South. Reformers compared industrial poverty to slavery, revealing Northern hypocrisy on labor freedom. Question 4. Stimulus. Minutes from the Seneca Falls Convention, 1848. A motion to demand the elective franchise for women passes after heated debate. Question. The division at Seneca Falls most clearly revealed what tension within antebellum reform culture? A. Whether appeals to natural rights or moral suasion should define reform strategy. B. The conflict between evangelical and Catholic reformers over social welfare. C. Opposition among male abolitionists to female education. D. Regional disagreement over the constitutionality of moral legislation. The correct answer is A. Whether appeals to natural rights or moral suasion should define reform strategy. Delegates debated moral versus political paths to equality, reflecting reform divisions. Question 5. Stimulus. Chart. Output of Southern cotton versus Northern manufactured goods, 1820 to 1850. Data show exponential cotton growth alongside a surge in Northern industrial output. Question. The economic trends shown most directly contributed to which political development? A. Deepening sectional interdependence that paradoxically intensified rivalry. B. Widespread southern diversification away from plantation agriculture. C. Western states' alignment with southern free trade policies. D. Decline of protective tariffs due to agricultural dominance in Congress. The correct answer is A. Deepening sectional interdependence that paradoxically intensified rivalry. Mutual dependence between cotton and industry deepened economic ties yet fueled sectionalism. Question 6. Stimulus, Whig campaign poster, 1840. A log cabin and cider barrel appear beside the slogan, Harrison and the People's Candidate. Question. The imagery above most directly illustrates which transformation in antebellum politics? A. The rise of mass political culture appealing to common voters across social classes. B. Elite Whig efforts to restore property-based voting qualifications. C. Regional alignment of the Whigs with Southern planters and free trade advocates. D. Popular resistance to expanding suffrage during the Panic of 1837. The correct answer is A. The rise of mass political culture appealing to common voters across social classes. Whigs used populist imagery to rival Democrats, symbolizing the democratization of politics. Question 7. Stimulus. Letter from President Andrew Jackson to Martin Van Buren, 1833. The Union, it must be preserved. Question. Jackson's position during the nullification crisis reflected which development in federal authority? A. An assertion of national supremacy over state sovereignty in enforcing congressional laws. B. A willingness to concede tariff enforcement to state militias to avoid war. C. Reliance on judicial arbitration to limit presidential overreach. D. A shift toward executive neutrality in sectional disputes. The correct answer is A. An assertion of national supremacy over state sovereignty in enforcing congressional laws. Jackson rejected Calhoun's nullification doctrine, upholding federal law through the force bill while avoiding outright conflict. Question 8. Stimulus. Excerpt from Henry Clay's speech on the Compromise Tariff, 1833. We must reconcile interests, not subdue them. Question. Clay's statement best reflects which enduring feature of antebellum political leadership? A. Balancing sectional and economic divisions through negotiated compromise to maintain the Union. B. Expanding executive influence to impose federal solutions on resistant states. C. Asserting congressional supremacy over the judiciary in times of constitutional crisis. D. Rejecting compromise in favor of moral principle as exemplified by later abolitionists. The correct answer is A. Balancing sectional and economic divisions through negotiated compromise to maintain the Union. Clay's approach to the 1833 tariff crisis embodied the Great Compromiser ethos, seeking moderation to preserve the Union despite sectional hostility. Question 9. Stimulus. Excerpt from John C. Calhoun's South Carolina Exposition and Protest, 1828. The federal government is, in truth, a compact between the states. Question. Calhoun's claim most directly challenged which constitutional interpretation? A. The nationalist view that the Union derived its authority from the people rather than the states. B. The belief that Congress lacked authority to enact revenue tariffs. C. The judicial precedent set by McCulloch v. Maryland, affirming implied powers. D. The idea that executive enforcement superseded legislative oversight. The correct answer is A. The nationalist view that the Union derived its authority from the people rather than the states. Calhoun's compact theory framed nullification as constitutional, opposing the nationalist model advanced by Webster and Marshall. Question 10. Stimulus. Excerpt from Abraham Lincoln's Fragment on Government, 1840s. If slavery is not wrong, nothing is wrong. Yet I would not act upon it without the consent of my fellow citizens. Question. Lincoln's remark reveals which characteristic tension in antebellum political thought? A. The moral rejection of slavery constrained by constitutionalism and popular sovereignty. B. Commitment to racial equality as a central Republican principle. C. Endorsement of immediate abolition through executive decree. D. Advocacy of economic redistribution to end slaveholder privilege. The correct answer is A. The moral rejection of slavery constrained by constitutionalism and popular sovereignty. Lincoln balanced conscience with constitutional restraint, reflecting moderate anti-slavery thought. Thanks for watching APush for 5. Let us know in the comments which questions you like the most. If today's practice helped you, tap like, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any future videos. And share this with a friend who's also aiming for that 5. If you want more hands-on learning or direct feedback, reach out directly. We'd love to help you take your prep to the next level. See you in the next video.